Welcome to this webinar where you can learn about the ALEKS Math Learning System. I'm Suzette Jaquette. I'm an ALEKS implementation specialist as well as a math teacher who's used ALEKS for many years. ALEKS is a system for grades 3 and up, and it's based on knowledge space theory and uses an artificial intelligence engine that individually assesses you to find out what you know, what you don't know, and what you are ready to learn. Then it only presents you with topics that you're ready to learn. In other words, it makes sure that you have the prerequisites to be successful with any of the math topics. Students take an initial knowledge check where they answer free response questions. ALEKS avoids multiple choice questions. Then they're presented with a graphical representation of what they know and what they still need to learn. Students are then directed to their learning page. Here they're presented with a question and an explanation of how to arrive at an answer. On the learning page, students will be shown how many correct answers they'll need in a row, and they'll also have the option of using the explanation button. Once students answer a question, it will be marked either correct or to try again. Once students have learned a topic, they'll be presented with a celebration page. A student's pie report is where they can see what's coming up next, what they're working toward, and their class progress. This begins the cycle of learning and assessment for students, and this is at the heart of ALEKS. With this sample student, you can see at the bottom, they've had an initial assessment of 33%, meaning they already knew 33% of the material. All ALEKS courses have 15% prerequisites built into them, so we know that this student is ready for this class. Then the student went into learning mode where they're accessing their learning pages and learning topics, and using those learning pages, they showed that they had learned another 11% of the topics. Next, they're presented with a progress assessment. Now, a progress assessment is going to check to see of those topics that they learned, do they still know them? Can they answer them correctly in an assessment, not just doing 5 of the problems correctly? So you can see this student then, on their progress assessment, they showed that they knew 43% of the material. Now they're back into their learning mode where now they're practicing the topics and learning the topics. Again, they showed that they learned another 11% during that time. They learned 35 topics. They spent 5 hours and 7 minutes in ALEKS, and then they were presented with another assessment. ALEKS will automatically spring an assessment for a student once they've mastered at least 20 topics and spent at least 5 hours in ALEKS. You can see the next assessment was what's called a scheduled assessment, and that's an assessment that the teacher schedules. Progress assessments are automatically given to students, again, once they've mastered at least 20 topics and spend at least 5 hours in ALEKS. But a teacher can always schedule an assessment at every time. So you can see, again, this is that cycle of learning and assessment where the students can see their progress, and this becomes very powerful for the student to see their growth. This student started at 33% mastery of the topics, and you can see at the end They had shown mastery in 73% of the topics in an assessment, and then they had also shown that they had learned another 3% in their learning mode. So a teacher can see the class dashboard, and they can see on average what students had their progress. I'm going to take a look further into the ALEKS Pie report. Here's the ALEKS Pie report. You see on the top the graphical pie representation of the student's progress, and below you see a list view of the table of contents and the progress in each of those content areas. We'll dive deeper into the real numbers, and we can see here that for the first topic, identifying numbers as integers or non-integers, 69% of the students have mastered that topic. 31% still need to master that topic and have not mastered it yet. 31% are ready to learn it, and 4% have tried it, have attempted that topic, but not yet learned it. If you look to the second topic, identifying numbers as rational or irrational, you see that 81% of the students have not mastered that topic, but only 12% are ready to learn. We're going to dive deeper down into what that means and how the teacher can use this. So here we're actually going to select one of those percents, and it actually gives us the name of those students. So here I selected 27%, and it shows me the 7 students that are ready to learn that topic. This is a very powerful part of ALEKS, and one that allows teachers to really identify working with students with small groups, or do they need to work with them in larger groups, and really what students are ready to learn which topics. Teachers can also look at a dashboard for a particular student. So this is a look at just one student, and at a glance look, their week's activity and their learning progress. They can dive down into that time and topic and see exactly what a student has worked on in each of the topics. They can see that a student has gotten a problem wrong by the red X or correct with the green check. Teacher can select the red X and actually see the answer that the student submitted to see if they can figure out why they're getting it wrong. They can see when they've also selected the explanation page. Schools can get ALEKS subscriptions in 2 different ways. If you happen to purchase a McGraw-Hill textbook, for example, a 7th grade math textbook, then all of the students would receive a subscription to use the 7th grade ALEKS course at no additional fee. You can also purchase standalone subscriptions for students with a specific time amount, 12 months, 46 weeks or so. And then that student would have access to any of the 3rd through 12th grade classes, plus several of the specialized courses such as response to intervention courses or test preparation classes. ALEKS is a tool, and what sets it apart from others is just it has so many more tools that are available to you to use. Here are some of the tools. The curriculum itself, many schools use the ALEKS math curriculum as their curriculum, and they do that with seated classes, blended or online classes. Some schools use it as a supplemental to a class. They use it for intervention courses or bilingual courses where students can toggle between English and Spanish. For test prep courses, for flexible advancement options, they can use it to customize the content, and teachers can actually embed resources right on a student's learning page. All of the content is correlated to Common Core or state standards. It has a gradebook feature, and all of the courses have the ALEKS quick tables, which are math fact practice available. And those do include games as well. There's textbook integration, so no matter which textbook publisher you're using, you can integrate the ALEKS courses to that particular textbook and generate individualized worksheets for students, generate quizzes, tests, homework by topic or standard or objective, and really get detailed progress monitoring from customized reports. The ALEKS tools address many situations you may be facing. If you're looking at mastery learning for your school, then ALEKS is a great option because it really ensures students have mastered the content. It's great for test preparation and practice, intervention, flexible advancement, accommodations for special education students. ALEKS features an IEP report for every student. It's great for gifted students where they can complete classes and move on to the next before the year has ended, and great for homebound students who might not have an instructor available to them at all times. ALEKS Tools addresses the needs of teachers. There's a training center that offers everything a teacher needs to get started using ALEKS. There's many 24/7 resources available, as well as live webinars. And ALEKS can be used immediately. Teachers can get started with it right away. Customization is just an option. They don't need to go in to do that unless they want. A great thing for teachers is knowing where your students are at when you first meet them, either at the beginning of the year or if they come into the add to the school later. The initial knowledge check is going to tell you whether that student is ready for that class. And then the progress reports can really help teachers guide and direct their instructional planning and make better use of their time. It can allow them to really spend time teaching math and not creating tests and quizzes and grading those tests and quizzes, but really spending their time creating wonderful lessons. The ALEKS tools are great for accountability. Again, holding students, teachers, schools, districts accountable for the math achievement is all there with ALEKS. ALEKS by itself is just a tool, but in the hands of a skilled teacher, it will ensure that your students have a high level of mastery. If you'd like more information, please feel free to contact me by email or phone. You can also visit my website at techforaleks.com, where I provide more resources for using ALEKS as intervention. Thank you.